Greetings and welcome. If you've been watching the weekly devotions and you feel the message is a source of spiritual food and receive some insights of the word, please subscribe, like, and share, and click the notification to get the latest update on our weekly devotion. And share to friends, and thank you for supporting this channel. Title for the weekly devotion is Judging by Appearance. Judging by Appearance. First Samuel chapter 16, verse 7 KJV says, But the Lord said unto Samuel, Samuel is the prophet, look not on his countenance. The countenance was King Saul's countenance, his face, his statue, and the height of his statue, because I have refused him, meaning that he rejected him, because I have, for the Lord see not as a man seeth. For the man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. Now, in this verse, now speculation could be that Saul could have been a good-looking man, handsome man, tall, big statue, because when he fought in war, he would defeat his enemies. Samuel has been trying to find someone who would look like Saul to be Israel's next king. But God warned him against judging by appearance. So when he saw King Saul, if he's tall, big, good looking, it would be that statue to replace the king who Saul was. So he was basing it on appearance and character of the outside. Okay. And in the scripture, it's talked about the heart. When the people judge by the outward appearance, they may overlook the quality of the individual who lacks, in particular, physical qualities or quantities, or qualities, that should say. Society currently admires the society. If you look at today's age, everyone's looking at the outside appearance, how everyone looks, how they dress, how well their face looks beautiful and their hair is well groomed, whatever the case may be. They look at that as the attribute of what that person is. But appearance doesn't always reveal the people are really like or what their true values are. Because a lot of people would know the value of a person by just their looks. Fortunately, God judged by the faith, character, not appearance. Amen. And because only God can see what's on the inside, only He can accurately judge people. He's God Himself. Most people spend hours each week, and you guys can attest to this, all the viewers that's listening. Most people spend hours each week maintaining their outward appearance. You agree with that? You know, that's part of the routine, I guess, because everyone has a routine, a regimen of balancing the spiritual side as the physical side. It's true. While everyone can see your face, only God knows the heart that's really looks like. Okay? And the key is the inner character. What's in the heart? What's being developed in the heart? What step are you taking to improve the attractiveness of your heart of God's eyes? Amen. That means that you just have to just do the spiritual side of it. Here's the first point. Samuel's initial mistake, the prophet that is, listen to this. In this passage, Samuel initially makes a mistake by focusing on Eliab, who seems like a suitable candidate for the next king, for king to his appearance and height. So he was matching his statue instead of measuring the heart. Because if you see a person that's super duper small, would they respect him as king? Possibly not, because they expect to be a strong, big leader to lead the nation. God corrects him, Samuel that is, pointing out that Eliab is not God's choice because God looks at the heart. So he was just trying to match statue versus inside the heart. Here's the second point. Appearance by its looks. Appearance by its looks. Human judgment versus God's judgment. This is a big difference day and night. The verse highlight that humans tend to prioritize physical attributes, maintaining the outside. I think there's nothing wrong with that. You got to look good, you got to look handsome, you got to look beautiful. I get that. You got to be healthy. That's all part of it. But it's the measurement. What Samuel was trying to do is match the physical the physical status, the attributes, making the assessments. However, God's judgment is based on the deeper understanding of the person's character. So that is key, saints. What character would that king be like to lead the nation? Here's the third and final point. Never judge by its cover, but look on the inside. You ever seen a book? You go to a bookstore, library, or whatever the case may be, and you go and see the book from the outside. It looks nice, hardcover, leather, whatever the case may be. And then you can't really judge it by its cover, can you? Because you don't know the context of the words that is actually trying to say in the message. So that's the beauty. Once you open up the book and start reading, then you know the context of its book. People might observe the outward appearance and might have a perception about you. They look at you, they have a perception. Can you imagine you're one of the person that's going to the bank and you're wearing flip-flops and a tank top and you're asking for $1 million? What do you think the banker's going to look at? They're going to judge you by your looks. Don't you agree? But the guy has money, but he just needed the money to do a project. So you never can judge the person's character until you look on the inside. So that's the good illustration on the outside of the flip-flops and the tank top, and you're going to the bank to ask for money. And then if they look at your ass, oh, you got a lot of money already. You say, well, you need, oh, I need it for this project. See, the smart people and the smart one that have money, they borrow other people's money to do and fund the projects. That's just how it is. God sees everything from the inside, the motives of the heart. Listen to that. And the intention of the heart. Your motive and your intention of the heart. God sees that. The importance of the heart. The significance of the heart in God's eyes. The inner character. That's what it's all about. The motive, the intentions are more important than the outward appearance. So, saints, if we continue to judge the outward part of a human's ways of doing it, the tendency, then we won't know the inside. And how will we know the inside? Until we get to know the person. When you fellowship or when you read a person's biography, you look at the statue, oh, good person, statue, okay? But the inside is the key for you to know of what's in the heart. And that's what Samuel was looking for, was the outside, but in reality, God said, don't look at the outer appearance, because I rejected that person that you're trying to put as king in Israel, but I'm looking at the inside of the heart. Saints, if you were blessed in today's message of the weekly devotion, kindly please subscribe, like, and share. And most of all, click the notification to get the latest update. and then you can please share it with the others that could be touched by today's message or be encouraged by today's message. We thank you for supporting the channel. Go forth in the name of the Lord.